Okay, everybody, what's up? Good morning. It's 5 minutes to 7 a.m. in the morning, TGIF, on this Friday. That's right, it's Friday morning, June the 10th, 2011. TGIF, it's like I say, 5 minutes to 7 in the morning. Now, this might seem a little unusual for me to do a video this early, and it already feels like it's later in the day. I mean, it's no wonder they call it the long dog days of summer. But I want to ask you something. In fact, you can probably see the question on the title board. You can see the title, or you can see the question in the title. And that is, for many of us that own consoles today, consoles like a 360 and a Wii, like I do, or a PS3, like some others do, or maybe all three of them. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, folks. Do you think, as the question is asked right there, are games on demand the way of the future? What I mean by that is, many of us may notice that a vast variety of our virtual consoles or shopping or e-shops or Wii shops or our marketplaces or stores that reside within our console and its networks, they always offer at a certain price games that you can purchase. Now, for me, when it comes to the Wii, I have to spend maybe $10, $20, and if I ever had the money, maybe more than that. But more on average, $10 to $20. Now, that usually just goes towards games from the Wii that are available for download through the Wii from systems like Commodore 64 all the way up to the N64. That's right, all the way up to the N64. Now, if they add anything else before the new successor comes around next year, that'll be a surprise. But right now, it's all the way up to the N64. Now, that's understandable if you want to sort of give a nostalgic feeling to your new consoles, so that everybody can play the games in a more easier way. Now, and I'm not saying that the other networks don't do that. The other consoles don't do that. The PS3, through the PlayStation Network, I understand does this. They have a lot of the classic PS2 games, a lot of the classic PS1 games on demand. They do. Now, true, very true, that the PS3 is backwards compatible with the PS2. PS2 games, that is. As well as the 360 from Xbox, some of them are backwards compatible as well. Not the newer ones, but a majority of the other ones. But here's a question I have for you. If we have all this backwards capability or compatibility, then why are games being put on demand? Again, like I said with the Wii, it's for a nostalgic feeling. But that's understandable if you want to go up to the 64 on that, to the N64 on that. That's understandable. But again, folks, what is why do that if a lot of games are on demand? I mean, if you go to your PSN store, your PlayStation Network store, and you see these PS1 games, that's understandable. But if you see some PS2 games, you think to yourself, well, wait a minute. These I could play. Hey, if I had these games, I could just put them into my system. What's the big deal? But here's the kicker, folks. I also know that, knowing how Sony is, and I could be wrong, but I have a strong feeling that Sony also does something similar that the Xbox does. You see, what the Xbox 360 does is they actually put a lot of the 360 games from the past and even to the recent present right on demand. It's not a lie, folks. It's not a lie. And let me explain why it is not a lie, folks. Why it's not a lie. One, for example, one is that if it was a lie, if you will, none of the games showing would be available for download. But here's the thing, here's the kicker. Here's the real kicker, folks. I can understand, just like with the Wii and the PSN Network, that games of the PS2, PS1, and all the way from the Commodore 64 to the N64, I can understand those being available for download. I can understand that, folks. But what I don't understand, folks, is this. If you're giving those on demand for availability, and all you have to do is pay certain points, if you will, like Wii points or Microsoft points or PSN points, whatever you want to call them, then why are consoles, networks, systems, marketplaces, why are they suddenly starting to put the games for the current consoles on demand? Why are they doing it? Well, honestly, perhaps maybe it's the way of the future, like I asked. Perhaps they're looking at the future. Because you see, they probably realize that not a lot of people want to get out of the house and have to go to a Walmart or a Target or a Best Buy or wherever, or go online to an Amazon.com and have to order and have to buy these games, and then have to wait through a drive home to open them up and play them, or have to wait for the mail to come so they can open them up and everything. I'm pretty sure people don't want to deal with that, folks. Pretty sure of it. But again, is games on demand the way of the future? The reason I say this, the reason I ask this, folks, is really, really simple. You see, on the Xbox 360, I can understand that if you have games from the 360, if you have 360 games that came out in 2006, probably up to 2009 and maybe 2010, I can understand, in early to mid 2010, I can understand those possibly being on demand. More importantly, 2006 to 2009. I can understand that. But what I don't understand, folks, well actually 2005 to 2009, whatever. But what I don't understand, folks, is this. What I don't understand is this. Last year, just about a year ago, E3 2010 officially announced the name of Project Natal as the Kinect. And around the holiday season when it came out, Project Natal, aka Kinect, sold many units because people wanted it. Okay. That is an understandable situation. That's understandable. But here's the thing. A lot of the games that came out for the Kinect at that time were new. And you would think that around this time, you wouldn't probably see any of those kind of games in a situation to where you can automatically download them. Well, guess what, folks? You can. I'm not lying. There are some games from the Kinectimals, the fitness games, the Season 1 of Kinect Sports, and just to name a few, that are currently right now on demand on the Xbox 360 marketplace. And again, you ask yourself why, and you probably ask yourself, why so soon? They haven't even been out that long. Because again, it raises the question raises the question of, are games on demand the way of the future? Are they the way of the future? I mean, again, I can understand 360 games from 2005 to 2009 and maybe early portion 2010 being on demand. But all of a sudden you have games with a Kinect, an accessory, a new innovative accessory for your console that you just brought out last year, holiday last year. That's crazy. That is crazy, folks. But you know what's even more crazy, though? You know what's even more crazy, folks? I'll tell you. I'll tell you what's even more crazy. A lot of the games, some of the most popular games that they have, some of the most anticipated games that they've talked about through E3s, through commercials and promos and hyped them up, are suddenly now on demand. Games like Call of Duty Black Ops, which my nephew, who is probably going to be here later today, has. That's on demand for $60. Are you kidding me? I mean, are you kidding me? Seriously? On demand for $60? And if that's not crazy, how about the fact that when UFC Undisputed 2010 came out, it was only like 2 months later, it almost felt like 2-3 months later, it was on demand. Not even that. Transformers, War of Cybertron, wasn't even out that long, and it was on demand. So the question is, once again, as you see in the title screen above me, are these games on demand deals, the way of the future? Because again, like I mentioned earlier, I would not be surprised if Sony's doing the same thing with the PS3s. I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing it. Wii, right now, I can understand because they don't got the capabilities. They only have enough room, flash memory, if you will, for Commodore 64's, Commodore 64 games up to Nintendo 64 games. And in between with the Neo Geos and the NES and the SNES and the Sega Master System, the Sega Genesis and the TurboGrafx. Those I can understand. But again, are games on demand the way of the future? Now, I'm not saying that Nintendo is not going to be shut out in this, because I'm pretty sure when the Wii U comes out next year, they're going to be doing similar things. I mean, they've already gone on record these past few days and admitted that the footage they showed of those third-party games that were being developed for the Wii U was footage from 360 and PS3. They've admitted it. So don't think Nintendo's not going to say, 360, the Xbox 3, the Xbox, Microsoft seems to be making a lot of money off these games on demand. Sony seems to be doing the same thing. Hey, why don't we do it? So I wouldn't be surprised if they have a Wii U shop, which they probably will, and one of the added additions, besides what you already have on the Wii, like I say, from the Commodore 64 to the N64, I wouldn't be surprised if the 2 new additions are GameCube and Wii. I wouldn't be surprised by that. Nor would I be surprised later on down the line that they added a new shopping addition to it, and that would be Wii U games. I wouldn't be surprised by that. Nor would I be surprised if Nintendo decided, you know what? Let's take this another step. Let's take this to another level. Let's put Game Boy games. Let's put the DS games, the 3DS games. Let's put them on demand on the Wii U. I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to do that too. Just as they could get a step further than PlayStation, than Sony and Microsoft. But again, the question is asked, are games on demand the way of the future, folks? Are they the way of the future? I mean, what I am waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm waiting for is the day, possibly next year, maybe the year after, who knows, either at E3, possibly more likely, at E3 next year or the year after, or at any gaming convention here in the States, or across the sea, in Japan, or in the United Kingdom, or wherever. I am just waiting for the announcement that games on demand are going to be the future of gaming. So that, in other words, you don't have to worry about going out and buying the game. That just like with DVDs and Blu-rays, when they come out with their movies, when movies come out on DVD and Blu-ray, that the same day they end up on demand. So I would not be surprised if video games start following in that same order. That if they announce that on the same day that the game is on sale at the store, that it'll be on sale on demand for you to purchase. Now, I'm not saying they still won't try to attract you to go and buy the game from the store, because they might say, well, if you purchase it online, you're just going to get the game. That's okay. But if you go to the store and buy the game, aim if you will, you go to the store and buy the game, you get, a certain bundle package. Like they're saying, oh, with Gears of War 3, they're saying, oh, if you buy this Gears of War 3 bundle pack, you get a special edition Gears of War 360. Well, things like that. You see what I'm saying, folks? I'm just waiting for that day. I'm just waiting for that day where that announcement will be made, not just by Microsoft, not just by Sony, but by everybody. By all three major parties. I'm just waiting for that day, folks. Because I know it's coming. I know it's coming. Because like I said, how can you have Kinect games that came out when the Kinect thing came out, and all of a sudden they're on demand? How can you have one of the most anticipated games this year, Black Ops, all of a sudden on demand? How can you do that? Again, folks, I am just waiting for the day where it will be officially announced that just like with movies and Blu-ray, just like with movies coming to Blu-rays and DVDs, that on the same day they come to Blu-ray and DVD, they're also on demand. I'm just waiting for the day where they officially make the announcement where games through either via games, either through that video games, either the 360 games, PS3 games, or Wii U games, that on the same day they're released, they can also be downloaded. It can be purchased and downloaded the same day. I am waiting for that, folks. Now, I can understand why maybe this games on demand deal is happening. I mean, when you think about it, earlier this morning I should say, I purchased Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. The very first Modern Warfare game from 2007. A game that my teenage nephew has. And he's always been telling me, you should get the game. And believe me, I've been wanting to get a Call of Duty game. And honestly, I would have been just as happy to get it physically as a cartridge in a disc than what I did. But I think I can understand why they do this. Because they realize that if you download the game online, it makes it more smoother. It's already in your hard drive. You don't have to worry about putting the disc in. It's smoother. There's no slowness. There's no waiting for the disc to load and stuff. It's all ready to go. But again, so again, I can understand maybe why they're doing this. Because it makes loading a disc, having to wait for a disc to load, makes it unnecessary. So again, I'm just waiting for the day where they announce that just like with movies, when they come out to Blu-ray and DVD, that they're also released on demand on the same day. I'm just waiting for the day that we get the announcement that video games, 360, PS3, Wii's, Wii U, PCs. I'm just waiting for the day that the announcement is made that those are going to not only be released and available in stores to purchase, but you can also do it online. And again, like I said, the only thing that's going to keep people from going, the only thing that's going to keep people going to stores to purchase them is if you have special editions, bundle packs, gift packs. That's the only way it's going to continue. But I'm just waiting for that day to happen. But again, I ask you, as gamers, not as gamers, casual gamers, hardcore gamers, gamers of all kinds, do you think games on demand whether it's through the Microsoft Xbox 360 Marketplace, either it's through the Sony PlayStation 3 PlayStation Network, or the Nintendo Wii U, Nintendo Wii, Nintendo's Wii Shop, or Nintendo's Wii U and possible Wii U Shop. Do you think they are the way of the future? I mean, look, they've already announced that the 360 is going to have an eShop where you can purchase online and download classic Game Boy and Game Boy Color games to play on the 3DS. So again, do you think they're the way of the future? And do you believe an announcement will be coming very soon in the future where, just like with movies being available on DVD and Blu-ray on the same day that they're also available on demand, do you think video games are going to follow suit? I'm just asking that question, folks. Comment down below, let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you later.